Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the difference between the final, finally, and finalize keywords in Java. The three of them sound pretty similar, but they're actually very different. So, yeah, let's start with final. So, final generally it talks about whether something is changeable, and it really depends on what you're referring to. For example, you could be referring to a primitive variable. And if you're referring to a primitive variable, then that means that the value of that variable can't change. But you can also be referring to a reference variable. And with a reference variable, if it's final, that means you can't point it to any other object in the heap. So if you have a final method, that means you can't override it. And if you have when you have final applied to a class, that means the class can't be subclassed. So for finally, you generally see that in a try-catch block for exception handling. So finally is optional. Um, the finally block is optional, and it usually it comes either after the try block or after the catch block. And no matter what, it's always going to be executed. I mean, even if you exit from the try block. It's usually used to write any code that you would use to clean up. And finally, finally, there's the finalize method. And the finalize method, it's called by the garbage collector, and it determines that no more references of something exist. So it's generally used to clean up resources, like for example, when you're closing a file.